Okay, this is Gene Skaggs in Nashville, Tennessee. And what we're going to focus on today, myself and Andrea, is we're going to look at quantum touch and the way you look at lower back issues. But also what I'm going to do is, after each session, I like to give something to people what I call where they can be proactive in the issues. Because what happens is, clients that come to you, it's basically like they wake up in the morning, they turn the stove on, they put their hand on the stove, and then, oh, my hand's killing me. And they come over and see Gene. Gene works and says, oh, it feels so good. And the next morning they get up and psst, they put their hand back on the stove and they go, oh, Gene didn't do too good a job. Okay, so sometimes it takes a little while to figure out where you put your hand on the stove. But for demonstrations, when I do this in public or I speak at paranormal conferences or whatever, when I have somebody, bring them up where the people can see me working on them, I always pick someone with lower back problems. A couple stipulations. I want lower back problem. I want them to bend over where they can't touch the floor, and the number from 1 to 10 is at least a 6, preferably a 7. So what we're going to do is, the reason why I personally have found that back problem is probably the most easiest issue to address is it's all located right here. You get into shoulders, it can be numerous other areas, but the lower back problem is just a lower back problem. So what I would work on with a person is I would work on their psoas muscle. And the psoas muscle starts about right there at your T12, and it follows the lumbar area and it will hook over here onto your hip sockets. Then you have another part right in here called the quadratus laborum muscles, and they're kind of like shock absorbers for the body. And then you have another little muscle, it's called a piriformis muscle, which right there at your hip socket hooks onto your sacrum, and it's in a cone-shaped fashion. So if you work on those 3 areas, gently put your hand on those 3 areas, that it takes it away every single time. What to do is you want to give the person a good gauge before they start. So what I always have them do is I have them bend over. So I'm just hypothetically come. And so they go, oh, they're about right there. And so they are 13 inches from the ground. And I would ask them, what number is that? And they'll say, oh, that's about a 7. So after I get done working on them, I'll have them go, whoop, and they go, oh my God, you got that? And now they're only 7 inches from the ground. And I ask them the number, and they'll say like a 2 or 3. So they haven't touched the ground, and they're not at a 0, but they got about a 50% improvement, and you get done working on them with no cracking bones, no pills, no side effects. Now, what you want to do is have the person be proactive again. So I give them a couple exercises to do with their lower back. Now this will also work in other areas that they have, I incorporate them, but this really works well in that. Now, the first thing I have them do is I call it Jesus on the cross. Everybody's got a good picture of what Jesus on the cross looks like. This is exactly what's designed for your back to use. I haven't found anybody that can find it yet. Now there's a number right here, 1953. I don't know if that'll help you. If anybody can find this thing again, and I've been on the internet and like that, please get back with me because I would like to order some. So, but not, you can use a towel. A towel will work just as nice. You just get a towel, get it long ways, you fold it in half, like that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to roll it up. Now, you want this part to end somewhere around in this area right here. You don't want it to come here because your head's not going to be able to touch the floor. So you want it to end right there. So you put it down on the floor. Probably need to get over here, Andrew. And then you'll lay down. Just come down. Okay. Now, if you're new to this and your neck is really hurting, you might want to put your hands right here because you don't want to plop your head down. And just gradually go down, and it will touch the ground. And sometimes you can hear your neck crack or your back and throw your arms out. And it's a beautiful, relaxing thing. It pulls all this back, it opens your hips up. You know, just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do for your back. Okay, the second exercise I would have them do is what I call 90s. I think everybody knows what a 90 is. It's like this. So this is not a 90. That's not a 90. That's about a 90. And you want this is about a 90. Now, I work on some chiropractors and they all tell me the same thing. They love people who do yoga and stretch because they pull muscles and got to see them. So if this is as far as you can go, that's all you do. You don't go any further. But eventually what you'll do is you'll lay down over the thing like this. That's one, one place. And then you'll come over here. And then you'll come over here. And then you'll come here.
And Gene, how long do you hold those?
Thank you for asking that. I would say maybe 30, 45 seconds. For the purpose of this, I'm just going through it. Thank you for that reminder right there. So I'd say a good 30 seconds. You can do it as long as you want. It's very comfortable. It's very relaxing. So you want to get the other side, do the same thing. You'll come over, get yourself some 90s going right in here. Now this side's a little tighter for me. I can go down, but I can really feel it a lot more. So I'll go down here.
Is it helpful to breathe when you're doing this?
Yeah, breathe all the way in. And now you might want to, instead of counting second, you might want to go by breaths. You might want to take like 5 or 6 breaths on each one. So that's 1, and then you go 2, and then take about 5 or 6 breaths there. 3, and then the 4th one. Okay, now, if anybody would like to see this, a couple other things I'd like you to show you how to help you breathe properly. If you send me, I'll send you some links to some videos on breathing, walking, and sitting. We just don't have time in this particular video. But one other thing I would like you to do is stand up against the wall. So right here, and that means I want your back of your heels to be right there. Make sure your butt's touching, your shoulders are back, and your head's right there. You're looking straight ahead. So that's what good posture looks like. This is what you don't want to do. There's a tendency you'll do this. You don't want to do that, or just like that. See, my hands are right here by my side. Watch my shoulders go this way. See how they move? You want your shoulders to be back where your hands will touch it right there. Okay, so looking forward to some comments and some likes, and you'll find these on YouTube. So thank you very much.